We still have Guam.
Yeah.
There's not enough people on it to fight us.
No.
Or protest. 5 people. We want our country back.
Guam has seen a population explosion.
Have they?
In the past few years, there's 64 people.
64 people. Okay.
Yeah.
64.
They've
And
gone
7,000 tourists.
Yeah. 64 natives and 700 million tourists. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So Teddy Roosevelt makes his name taking San Juan Hill.
San Juan Hill.
And he's going to come back and run for president.
and do
And we're gonna love him.
a hell of a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
That's big stick diplomacy.
Panama.
Panama.
You park an aircraft carrier off the edge of it and tell them what to do.
That's
Hey,
it.
by the way, we're going to put it was like eminent domain for the world.
I'm not though sure it was an aircraft carrier.
Do they not have them yet?
I think it was a battleship.
Okay, battleship.
All right.
Same thing. It's bullying.
I'm just saying I can't see Maverick and Goose sitting outside of freaking Panama, getting ready to go, Top Gun style.
Hey, Iceman.
Yeah. It was a battle.
Eject, eject, eject.
You ever heard of the Great White Fleet?
No. The Great White Fleet?
Yeah. Fleet of 16 all-white battleships. Teddy Roosevelt sailed them around the world, like showing people how.
Oh, how
Badass
strong
we
we
were.
were? Yeah, I don't remember reading that.
Oh, it's awesome. Read
Was
it.
this before or after presidency?
No, this is during.
During presidency?
Yeah.
I meant, that's what I meant. Before
Yeah.
or during? Really?
Yeah. It's pretty slick.
I mean, don't we do this now with our aircraft carrier? Well, we don't have to anymore.
But like you can look them up, and you can build like replica scale models.
And they painted them all white?
Yeah, and they're all white. Like they look pretty cool. And we had 16 of them.
Wow.
It's pretty badass for the time.
Well, this was the thing. Look, this was Spain ruled Earth until 1588. Then Great Britain took over.
Elizabeth? Was that Elizabeth?
1588. Whoever did the
Armada? Whoever
Spanish
defeated
Armada.
the Armada?
Yeah,
that was
Elizabeth I?
Yeah.
So, first Elizabeth, who was as of a week ago, the longest ruling monarch for Great Britain. Elizabeth II has now taken over.
Really?
Right? The one now?
I didn't know though.
Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mom's Elizabeth II. Yeah, she's now, 15 days longer than her?
Wow.
She has the record.
How long would that make?
65 years or something?
Wow.
That's
Yeah, Elizabeth.
She was young when she took over. I think she was
first Elizabeth.
18
I
or
think she
something.
wanted to put like an emphasis on the Navy, so I think that's why.
And this is why they curved Germany in World War I.
Yeah.
Because Germany was going to pass Great Britain after time. Start a war. We'll talk about World War I another day, though. But this
Was
was
that Wilhelm II?
Kaiser Wilhelm.
I'm good.
Willie, and Russia was cousin.
Peter.
No. Who was it? It wasn't Alexander. I can't believe I'm mixing this up now. This is why we didn't talk about it. I wasn't ready for World War I. Who is the king of Russia? It was cousin Willie, and he would write to his cousin in Russia. Darn it. This is easy, too. I'm real pissed. Yeah.
I know Wilhelm II.
It wasn't Alexander. It was Alexander's dad. So, to kill the dead heir.
Alexander's dad?
Yeah, Alexander's going to be killed with his family. Remember in the Purge?
Yeah. Charles?
No. Let's move on.
Old Charlie?
No, it was Russia. Russia's king. The last king of Russia. Putin.
Charles. No, I don't know.
Putin.
Yeah, that's gonna drive you crazy.
Oh, it is. I'm pissed already. The internet just started messaging on the feedback.
Loser.
Yeah. Oh my God, he didn't remember this. He's a teacher.
Put world history teacher.
I'm
capital letters.
We're
nervous.
gonna have angry comments now.
Yeah. Teacher of the year, huh? Stuff like that. Yeah.
So back to this. When we beat the Spanish in the Spanish-American War, this was like our final, we can fight. And the world had to pay attention to they can fight. And this is when we finally tell Spain to get out of South America, and we tell Great Britain in no terms to be careful how they deal with Canada.
Was that Roosevelt corollary?
Oh, did they have
Yeah, it's like.
I know the Monroe Doctrine backs it up.
Yeah, the Roosevelt corollary basically, I think,
Backed up the Monroe Doctrine.
says any European country that tries to invade or have influence over a South American country, you have to deal with the United States.
And somehow the Falkland Island War still happens. But whatever.
Right.
Not sure what the case was there.
Yeah.
Apparently we can't fight our friends.
Yeah.
Fight our friends, Caesar. Uh-oh. Blowing up. All right, so next, let's keep going. We grant freedom.
Yes.
And then we get into this time period that is considered, I think, much like our Roaring 20s, except there, it's like the
40s and 50s.
40s and 50s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you're Las Vegas, you hate Cuba.
Well, was Las Vegas around then?
I think it was growing.
Yeah.
I think Cuba turning communist made Las Vegas
Las Vegas. I agree.
Because, we could get on a plane here in Tampa and fly, what? Half an hour? 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Land in Havana and literally have what Las Vegas is today in Cuba. Hotels, casinos, much better beaches than the desert. I mean, honestly.
You say beaches?
Beaches. Holy, it's the beaches.
Yeah. Check out those beaches.
So, I mean, that was the place to go.
Yeah.
What happened?
What do you mean? Are you serious?
Cuba was wonderful.
What? Fidel Castro happened, man.
Who?
Yeah.
I don't like saying his name in this school.
Man.
Dude, I had a student.
What was it? The 26th of July movement?
Is that the revolution?
Yeah, that's the revolution.
So tell me, because Gringo, I don't know a lot about the revolution. You're gonna know a lot more. First, Nate, do you know the Cuban Revolution at all?
I know about it, but I don't know too much information.
What do you got? You probably know more than me.
Who started it? Do you know?
It was one of the people.
He just said it. He just said it. He just said who started it.
What?
What's that guy's name? Starts with, it rhymes with Fidel
Fidel
Castro.
Castro.
Yes, Fidel
Good,
Castro.
he got
Right. Hey.
He just said it, Nate.
Yeah.
So where does Che Guevara fit in?
That's Fidel's right-hand man. That's the guy.
During the revolution?
Yeah, during the revolution. Fidel was kind of the guy behind the scenes. He was the face, and Che was the brawn. Che was the guy that was going to put this revolution to fruition.
So Che killed lots of people.
Tons of people.
Why is he remembered so
Did you
positively
know
then?
Che Guevara was Irish?
Actually, his last name's O'Brien.
Che
O'Brien.
Guevara O'Brien. The reason that he was famous was because of his Irish
He was
blood.
related. They didn't even know it, but
He
he'll
would've
be
been a
related
loser.
to me.
Yeah, he's related.
Yeah.
Since he was related to me. Huh?
That guy that you guys were talking about,
Che Guevara?
there's a lot of pictures of him in Cuba when you.
Yeah, and that's why there was a lot of controversy with the Pope.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about that yet.
Not yet, yeah. So Che Guevara is the face behind the revolution. Like he's a symbol of revolution. But
So
I think
that's why it shows up all the time on
Yeah.
a T-shirt and on some teenager's wall.
But I think that what the T-shirt wearing average teenager doesn't know is that in order for this revolution to happen, hundreds of thousands of people were executed.
Yeah, look at even Egypt, which was an easy revolution and still in the middle of it, people died constantly.
Yeah.
That's Germany. You're talking about Egypt. He's back there saluting.
No, yeah, but that's exactly right. And people forget that. People forget that in order for Che to be successful, innocent people were executed.
Yeah,
Like
when
people
one
who
group's in power, you got to
Yeah.
get rid of the other group.
Yeah. So-
Syria's going through an attempt. Libya's revolution was very bloody.
Yeah.
That's what started all those violent videos online.
Yeah.
The Libyan revolution. And
So-
then they overthrew Gaddafi. Gaddafi!
Hey. I'm sorry, man. I'm cranky. I haven't had my Gaddafi today. What's your favorite animal to see at the zoo? You like the zebras? I like the Gaddafis.
The Gaddafi.
God, they're so tall. You know what I mean? They bend down. The Gaddafis.
Gaddafi!
Gaddafi.
I had a Gaddafi eat seeds out of my hand one time.
Worst joke ever.
All right, whatever.
And I tried to play into it,
Oh well.
and it's still
I'll keep going with it. I don't care. I'll bury this thing. I'll bury this thing.
You got the
I will bury this
you
thing.
got the Garafes, the Elefantes.
Hey!
All right,
Atta
Nate.
boy.
Now we're getting
Nothing's
into it.
worse than a leon taking on a Gaddafi.
Yeah.
You get it? Nate
Leon.
Yeah. If I was a Gaddafi and I was running right now, Leon would attack.
Leon would chase you.
Rah.
There you go. I like that.
And they would ate you.
Tomorrow when you're in class about to go to sleep, I'm gonna go,
And only you'll get the joke.
hey,
Yeah, I know.
wake up.
Then Nate will start laughing, and everyone will be like, why he's laughing?
Why
he
Nate
laugh?
laughing? Right? It won't even be like, why
he laughing?
Why is Nate laughing? Why he laugh?
So, yeah, Caesar knows.
Did you have to knock off the ing? All right.
It's just the G.
One of my biggest pet peeves, by the way, now that this
Grammar.
is completely off topic, I hate people who say he was asleep.
Well, the word sleep has changed references in the school. Sleep is like
Sleep cannot
terrible.
Sleep cannot change reference.
Terrible. He should be killed
You
asleep.
can't tell people.
Right, Nate?
I don't know.
Are you leaving?
No, I'm just.
All right.
You can't tell me what were you doing yesterday, and you can't respond. I was asleep.
Time out. I don't think any of our students would have said that about themselves. Sleep is a bad word, right, Nate?
No. I mean like the actual
She is
act
asleep.
of sleeping.
I mean, if you're being like,
I don't think they would have said it like that.
it's like saying you're like doing like a no-brainer. Like, if you aren't thinking right, it's like, man, you sleep. You know what I mean?
You sleep.
Yeah, it means you're crazy stupid.
Yeah.
Hell no. What it means is that you're an action that involves resting your eyes.
Look, time out. Even the F word has multiple uses. So why can't the word sleep?
Sleep cannot. The F word is a cuss word. It's not preferred nomenclature anyways.
Well, all right. Well, then
I hear teachers say, you know,
Sleep.
like, I
sleep?
tried to talk to him in class, but he was asleep.
All right, whatever. I don't know.
You mean he was sleeping, right?
No, I think they're referring to the word native. Like he was.
Or maybe that.
I think they're referring to the word sleeping. They just knock off the ing.
Or maybe they were gonna say asleep, but they're Cuban, so they don't pronounce the
Or
S.
Oh, there you're right. They're Cuban.
Yeah, or asleep.
they were asleep.
Yeah, they were asleep.
I know, but look, like verbal language. We were just talking about Teddy Roosevelt.
Cubans are terrible at it.
Let me tell you a story about Teddy Roosevelt.
Even in Spanish, they'll chop up language.
Roosevelt this is a very controversial story about Roosevelt, and I read this on that test, the FCAT, which teachers aren't supposed to read. But
Oh
so
my goodness.
I won't be in class tomorrow. Thank God we stopped funding the FCAT. There was a story about Teddy Roosevelt and how he wanted to have a phonetic version of English.
Really?
Yeah, like take away all this silent letter crap.
Yeah.
Make it easy for the American people to speak our language and people who are
Immigrants.
anybody.
Yeah.
And if it had been an easy language to learn, English would probably be all over the world now automatically.
Yeah.
Our
It's
version.
not the easiest language.
It's not.
to learn. No.
No, you just ask half our students.
Well, no, but I mean, it's true. It's true. Half our students, they speak it
It's
like
a struggle.
that. Yeah.
It's a struggle. It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
But I hear it
It's
in
our
Spanish
job.
too. I hear it in Spanish. The same I hear it in English, I hear it in Spanish, and it's
Changing the
chopped
way
up.
you.
Yeah.
Well, that's normal, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
look, if we went back to
you don't have to like it.
the Deadwood
I'm just telling
age,
you I didn't like it.
you know, the city of Deadwood, they probably spoke better than even our presidents
True.
back then.
True.
The 1700s of our country, they'd be like, "Why dost thee pull thee gun upon me in such a audacious fashion?"
Right.
They'd be like, "Because dost thee said something incorrect within my presence."
Yeah.
No lie, this is how they would have talked to each other, and we're just like,
Yeah, we.
"Why'd you pull your gun, dummy?
Yeah.
Now I gotta shoot you."
Yeah.
Like,
I got it.
I think it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't agree? Or-
Yeah. No, I agree.
I agree.
So
It's an
every
evolution
generation
or
gets
a
mad.
De-evolution.
Because someone in one of those western towns would have been like, "That guy speaks poorly."
Yeah. Well, it's not mad. It's
His
just
English
that's one
grammar
word that I
is
hate.
unacceptable
Yeah.
in today's awesome society.
Yeah.
By the way, if you've never seen Deadwood, everybody,
I still have never.
it's an incredible show. Just the dialogue,
I've
speaking,
heard.
the way they speak to each other in that show
I've heard it's
is
good.
incredible.
So, Fidel and Guevara revolution. That's when most of the Cubans come. First wave in the '60s, early '60s.
So right away,
Yeah.
was it to escape the killing part, or
I
to
think
escape
both.
because they
Communism.
supported the king?
Well, no, no king.
Not king, sorry,
Yeah,
president.
president.
Which was
Bautista.
Bautista.
Yeah, but
there are people that hated Bautista.
The poor people.
Oh, okay.
You know.
He was an elitist?
Or
just a capitalist?
I think he was an extreme capitalist, and so extreme that he was almost a 1920s United States like Harding.
Okay.
You know, like I'm
Ford.
gonna let economy
Henry
do
Ford.
whatever it wants to do, and my job is to just
Laissez-faire.
Yeah, laissez-faire. So people hated that.
Well, and
the
then
poor
they
people.
would have, if you were, this is one of the downsides to poor people in large societies is
They're poor.
communism. Well, no, but communism sounds attractive.
That's
Communism
fast
sounds
forward to
attractive.
2008 United States. And that's not being funny. Fast forward to 2008 United States, there's a lot of people that are losing a lot of money who are poor, and the guy who has more social programs is the guy who's going to get elected.
And I've never heard the word socialist more accepted than today.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 50s, I wasn't
That
born
was-
yet, but if you
was
had
a
said the
bad
word
word.
socialist, you're halfway to a communist.
That's fighting word.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna fight you, literally beat the hell out of you.
Socialist now, I heard a teacher say, I'm not a communist, I'm a socialist.
Yes, I remember that as well, blatantly.
Seriously, but I mean serious, like,
And you could never get away with that in teaching 40 years ago.
no.
You'd have been fired.
Kidding me? Fired.
So it's just accepted. So
Yeah.
anytime you have a larger group of people struggling, communism tends to seem better, and
yes.
socialism
Yes.
is kind of halfway there. Kind of halfway
But
there.
I will tell you, there's be very few people living in the Soviet Union in the 60s and 70s, or in Cuba in the 60s and 70s, who are around today who would say socialism works.
And you've explained this to me, that a Cuban who left that Cuba at post 1961, right? Or what was the full year of the revolution?
59.
Okay, so 59 onward, if you left early 60s, you would never vote for a Democrat in the United States ever again. You told me this.
Well,
Or it'd be hard to.
Yeah, it'd be hard to, and especially after Kennedy. You know, Kennedy with the Bay of Pigs.
Oh, yeah,
happened there? that was it.
And there were a lot of Cubans that hoped that it worked.
Yeah, of course.
You know the Bay of Pigs?
Missile
Nate?
crisis?
Yeah,
It's around the same
it's
time.
before the missile crisis.
Bay of Pigs was, we staged an invasion of Cuba to overthrow
With a young
Fidel.
president.
Yeah.
Very
And-
new and young president. This is where the CIA comes and looks, we got this great idea. All you got to do is say yes. It's going to be fine. No mistakes.
And what happened
And our
was
poor young president is embarrassed worldwide.
Yeah. He agrees to it, and then at the last second, we pull out, and
Yeah, the CIA doesn't fly their jets.
We don't fly our jets. We don't send American troops. We have them like 100 yards offshore, and we never
wait.
We never let them
You know, I think there was this
storm the beach, so to speak.
I think one of our teachers was on one of those boats.
No, I have a guy in my neighborhood.
Is that what I remember this story?
Said that he watched
watched
just Cuban people just get slaughtered.
Like we
'Cause
literally
told them to revolt.
Because here's the Cuban military with Russian arms, because that's why we had this issue. They sided with Russia, and we're using Cuban people from Miami who want to go back and retake Cuba,
Dissidents, yeah.
and we just left them on the beach.
Well, we told them, go ahead and revolt.
got your back.
And at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning, we'll storm the beach. You know, they won't even be able to get 2 shots off. And when they said okay, they did it, and we.
So
watched
it's
them get
just a bunch of Cuban guys running up against Russian tanks.
Yeah.
And machine
guns.
guns.
They got killed. So because of that, Cuban people would never vote. Well, old Cuban people, my grandparents, probably your parents' age, you know, my parents, you know, will not vote Democrat. Now,
Just
the new
because it's
wave-
near communism. Just because it's near. It's on that half.
It's on that half, yeah. And the new wave though doesn't seem to care as much. But again,
Wasn't that just the way it goes?
But and again, the new wave has been raised under Fidel Castro.
It's just like our students in 9/11.
You know,
They don't see it the same way we do.
And they don't see it the same way our students 5 years ago saw it.
True. They were
Our
a little
students
older.
5 years ago were
they were
7
10
years old.
Yeah.
You know, 8 years old, 10 years old. They were like, yeah, we remember it.
Now they're like 2 and 1
they were
year old.
one, you
You're
know?
right. It's
another world.
Cedar, how old were you? 9/11.
3.
How old were you, Nate?
99, okay, 2001.
You were 2.
2.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, so they don't remember it.
All they remember is mom and dad talking about it later.
I remember them showing me videos in like middle school about it, and I just I didn't quite understand it, but now as I'm watching it, it really like hits me kind of.
Yeah, and just imagine sitting there that day. I was in college. You were in high school.
Yeah, that's a great question, Nate. Do the videos affect you at all, or are you just
They do.
Are you just like, is it something like?
They do affect me because you know it's like our country being attacked, and my mom said when she was watching it, I think she was in when she watched it, I think she was in high school, and just no. That's right. She was working.
You were
part-
2 years old,
She
just
was-
to reference this again.
She was.
You were 2, so
So she hopefully wasn't in high school.
Hopefully.
Although it was possible.
No, she was working at a nursing office, I think, and all her friends, like just watched it on live television.
That's
and
what we
she
all
said
did.
That's what
that
everybody did, yeah.
She was just on
For
the floor.
days. We watched it for days.
She said she was heartbroken, just on the floor, just in tears.
Yeah.
All her and all
Yeah, it was rough. It was an
That's how
emotional day
everybody
for
was.
us. Yeah. And to think that that's what like Pearl Harbor was.
Video you showed us.
Yeah, I showed him like the eyewitness version of 9/11, which is all home videos,
Yeah,
and it's pretty rough.
it's rough to watch,
That
yeah.
got to me.
Well,
I know it got to Elsie too.
Yeah.
She took it pretty hard.
Well, I think it's cool that these guys were 2 years old, and when you guys grow up, you know, my kids weren't born, you know, so I'm going to be able to tell them that story. You guys are going to be able to tell your kids a story. So I think that maybe that's where that's
And hopefully there's not a new one.
will continue. You know, like,
Yeah, and I hope we don't have one that they have. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I hope- I hope-
this is your 9/11. We don't want to say
yeah,
those
we don't want to
words.
say those words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
because that's what France said last year. This is our 9/11.
Yeah. That's you don't want to ever want to say that.
Spain, Great
You
Britain, Germany's waiting for theirs.
That's a bad time. You know.
Germany is like on that watch. They're like, we haven't had one yet, and it's surprising that Germany hasn't had one.
Yeah.
Being the pinnacle of Europe right now.
So back to
So I want to talk, the USSR and
Yeah.
their involvement. They're funneling tons of money to Cuba.
tons of money.
They choose Russia over us, the USSR, so we start sanctioning them, and this is why we stopped buying Cuban sugar, which was their main export, was sugar.
Yep.
Anything else?
Well, we told Fidel, we basically gave him an ultimatum and said, we're not for the socialist aspect of your country. If you make these adjustments or change or whatever, you know, you can, you know, we'll kind of support you. He chose Soviet Union
Just fully.
100%. And if you, back then, you know, Cold War, if you chose them, you're against us.
Oh yeah, and complete enemy.
It's a complete enemy. So, we stopped buying sugar, no more tobacco, no more, you know, no more anything.
I know no more cigars could be
No
sold
more
here.
cigars could be sold here.
Rum, Cuban rum was another.
Yeah, no more rum. You
You know how cheap rum?
Bacardi
Let's not talk
factory
about
went to
this
Puerto
on a
Rico.
school show. What?
Bacardi factory went to Puerto Rico because of that.
Yeah, I know they have that throwback. Did you notice Bacardi did the whole? We did an episode. They did a commercial with "We are the beginnings of Cuba," and it had
Really?
like Havana. On
I didn't know
last
that.
Super Bowl.
Really?
They
so
had a
they're
really-
claiming their
They're
origin.
showing their roots again, but that's because we have such a large Cuban
Those
population.
Super Bowl commercials, man. They just get better and better.
They're funny. They've always
Yeah.
been funny.
Yeah, they're good. Soviet Union pouring money, then you know Soviet Union crashes. Venezuela.
Well, no, go back. Let's go back. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So this is Russia's chance. This is the USSR's chance to get in our backyard
Yep.
and legally
Yeah.
breaking the Roosevelt corollary. And now we're stuck with weapons we have that YouTube spy plane that flies so high you can't see it,
Yeah.
just taking video, which by the way, that was 1960s, 63.
Good.
And we don't think the country has stuff
now.
capable of seeing if you have an ant on your head
Yeah. Now, please.
through walls. Through walls.
You
They
think?
could,
Well, they pick up
with heat sensing,
signatures.
and then they could probably have a computer render it as it
As a
might
person.
look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. The technology you have today.
And we don't know. It's the stuff we
can
don't
go
know that
out
freaks
in
us
the
out.
mall into a little hobby store, just buy a drone, and just fly it around, spy on
Yeah.
people. It's
Yeah, and there's no laws against it yet.
Yeah.
Remember the guy who shot the drone out of his yard with his gun?
Yeah.
Went to jail for shooting a firearm.
Really?
what?
Yes. This thing is encroaching in his yard with a camera, and he shot it and was arrested.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been thinking of buying one.
I want one. I think it'd just be fun for the show.
Like
Yeah.
the DJI Phantom. I looked that one up.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
The one is it if the
unreal.
6 propellers? Because that's the
4.
one you want. Only 4?
Yeah.
So last year.
Really?
So, oh gosh, you need that 6 propeller one. That's just a computer runs it, and if you take your fingers off the control, it just hovers.
It never crashes.
Never crashes.
Wow.
Never crashes.
I remember there's this one video where this guy was studying, I think it was Africa or something, but he was flying a drone and like a bird came up and just hit it.
Attack. Oh yeah, the hawk.
Yeah, the hawk.
Or the eagle. Yeah, there's a
eagle.
video of
Oh,
an
I
eagle
gotta see
just
that.
nailing this thing.
Really?
The eagle
Yeah.
just straight up comes, slams the drone and just.
Do you know what to search?
Eagle drone.
Yeah, the eagle attacks drone or bird
yeah.
attacks drone. There have been some
It
funny
was
drone
a
videos.
brown
Yeah.
eagle, I thought. A brown eagle.
Golden eagle would be the name then. I don't think there are brown eagles.
In Africa, or
Oh, the African brown eagle.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
No, I don't
right.
know.
They do have those.
I don't know. I made that up, but I sounded like I knew.
I don't think there's a brown eagle, Nate. There's a
gonna
golden
say
eagle and
more
bald eagle.
A regular eagle.
It's the eagle that doesn't need Rogaine. Okay?
Yeah, right. The non.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a golden
The
eagle.
hair's still there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
More of like a golden brown though. Yeah.
Hey, I thought it was always.
This is why we brought Nate on.
Hey, Brown-
Nate's one of my favorite kids. I want this known. I even say it in class. Nate, I just don't know why, because some of the stuff he says, a teacher would normally be like, really? Nate is my favorite student so far.
Oh, I love him. I mean,
Let's just refer
he never says
to-
a peep in my class.
Isn't that? That's because he's
Asleep. Yep.
nap time.
It's early in the morning. I don't eat breakfast.
It's not that early.
How about you eat breakfast and then have some self-control? Although I'd probably fall asleep in class in some of these classes, but not
mine,
yours.
though.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Especially with your your snarky stories.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I'd have to pay attention constantly because I'll be like, wait a minute, is he being
I'll
serious?
catch you. Yeah, I'll catch
Is he being serious right now?
Yeah.
Because you'll
That's the
catch me.
point.
Look, you'll be yelling at a student in a hallway and I'll be laughing because I haven't followed along.
Yeah, right.
You're being serious
Yeah.
when not usually
Yeah.
serious.
We got a lot of inside things in my classroom. A lot of inside jokes. You got to give it a couple days.
And then we had Sleepy blow it in his interview.
Yeah. You
Sleepy.
got to give my class, honestly, what I tell my students, especially the new ones that transfer in, give my class a couple days, right? Because you don't know the inside jokes. You
Yeah,
don't
and that's
know-
half the fun is learning them.
Yeah, you don't know.
All right, everybody get out your pencils. We're taking a quiz, and nobody does it. And the new kid's like,
Yeah, that's the. Yeah.
the fake anger you
Yeah,
throw.
you don't
Oh
know
my
the
gosh.
jokes, man. You know what I mean, you're new here. You're new.
Just go away. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Take some time. It takes some time.
So the Cuban Missile Crisis is when we find out there are nuclear missiles, not nuclear, George Bush, nuclear.
Nuclear.
missiles.
Yes.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is literally 90 miles from Tampa,
Yeah. No. 90
Miami.
miles from Miami.
90 miles from Key West.
Yeah.
And then able to hit
Like
certain
New York,
areas
crazy?
with the certain ballistic
Yeah,
missile.
yeah.
Because these are Russian missiles.
Yeah.
So they literally could start World War III. And this is when we get our MAD, mutually assured destruction, and everything's destroyed.
Brinksmanship. Yeah.
Right to the edge.
Right to the edge. That was Kennedy.
Thank God for the red phone. Batman let him borrow the red phone.
Yeah. Yep. Kennedy was like, a line in the sand, dude. Over this line, you will not cross. Yeah.
And then the red phone saved everything because they were about to cross it.
Yeah.
Russia was coming with a boat, and they weren't going to stop.
I think it was multiple boats, right?
Well, there were multiple boats coming, but it came down to the first